Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the War of 1812. It was a relatively small conflict, but it was seen as a building block for the next 100 years of American history, as well as one of the greatest confidence boosters of the nation's history. Before the war even started, England was locked in battle with Napoleon. Both England and France thought to cut off trading from America to the other nation. Both countries moved their naval forces and there began fighting in the Atlantic Ocean and successfully cut off trade from America. Congress's war hawks wanted war, but the House and the Senate were split. Eventually, America said that whichever nation traded with them first, they would stop with the other. Napoleon hinted he would stop restrictions, and Madison stopped trade with England soon after. After the defeat of the Native Americans in the Battle of Tippecanoe, many Native Americans had the mindset that they needed British help to prevent the Americans from pushing them further. Warhawks continued to push, and the war was soon declared on England, followed immediately by the attack on the British colony of modern-day Canada, which was an American victory over a heavily fortified defense area led by Sir Isaac Brock. Soon American forces suffered a devastating loss when Detroit was surrendered without firing a single shot. This was followed by the finishing of the French and British wars, which gave England the chance to turn all their attention to the War of America. A huge amount of British troops led a land invasion and captured and burnt Washington, D.C. and the Capitol building. At the Battle of Plattsburgh, the American Navy soundly defeated England's Navy. Fort McHenry stood 25 hours of bombardment, and at the end, the flag was raised, inspiring the Star Spangled Banner, which was written to an Old English drinking song and later adapted to the version we know today. The British and American governments were able to reach peace terms and sign a treaty called the Ghent Treaty. Before the British troops at New Orleans knew of peace, they launched a ground invasion of New Orleans, promptly stopped by the strong American forces. Even though the war was over, we finished with a victory, and it greatly boosted American confidence for the next 100 years. The War of 1812 had likely prepared the next generation of generals that fought in the Civil War, not to mention four future presidents who were Jackson, John Quincy Adams, James Monroe, and William Henry Harrison. And some of the generals were Andrew Jackson, Jacob Brown, Winfield Scott. Um, it's not really measurable how much positive effect this had on the morale of the small nation, but it's likely that it gave America the hope and confidence to stand their ground when the Civil War came, if you ask me, and then that led to the Industrial Revolution. But yeah, that's the War of 1812. Sorry, it's super early. It has terrible lighting right now.